You don't feel like working out, so you don't do it. You skip every single one of your workouts for the week, and you don't stick to your diet because it's too much work or it'll take too long. However, years pass and you're in the same spot you were 5, 10 years ago. You complain, on why you're in the same spot. You're the same freaking person. You've accomplished none of your goals. And yet the answer is right there. This is what is wrong with so many young men today. And not even just young men, but people in general. They use every single excuse in the book to not work hard, to cope, and use excuses as shields to not accomplish their goals. They'll say, oh, it'll take too long. Oh, that takes too much time. It'll take years of training. Or I don't feel like it. I didn't feel motivated today. I lack motivation. Oh, I didn't feel good today, and I didn't want to do it, so I just didn't do it. And the worst part about this is that they don't even realize while they're doing this. Well, a lot of people don't. A lot of people do, however, they like to create a false reality in their head and they don't like to face reality and tell themselves that they need to change. They don't have the mentality of growth like a real strong masculine man should. And they stay depressed, their life is shit. And the worst thing about it is that, like I said, they don't even realize it, that the answer is right there. Being masculine and wealthy starts in the mind. A lot of people think that being broke or your lifestyle is a state. That's the state of your lifestyle, or that's the state of your bank account. However, being broke is not a state of your bank account, it's a state of the mind. Because just think about it, the reason why your room is so disorganized, you don't do your bed, you don't even take care of yourself, your bank account is low, you have a 2-figure bank account, it is simply a reflection of your mind. Because it all starts in your head. The more organized that your mind is, the more disciplined that you are, the better that these things will look, the better that you'll take care of yourself, the more that you'll groom yourself, the more that you will take care of your finances, your physique, your health, everything. And it all starts with the belief, because obviously if one does not believe that something cannot be done, their actions won't reflect this. And it won't get done, because some people like to cope and be like, oh, I'll just believe myself into being able to lift 1,000 pounds. And I get so fucking pissed about these people, because obviously you don't just believe in it and then it's just gonna happen. That's not how it works. However, it does start with the belief. I'm not saying that all you have to do is believe, but a belief is a big factor. It is a necessary factor when it comes to achieving things. Because action rises from belief. For you to eventually get to the point in which you can lift those 1,000 pounds, or whatever you want to do, you need to believe it first. And then take action. Take the necessary steps to eventually get to that position. And you have to have that growth mindset, just like a masculine man. Because you want to know how a masculine man thinks? A masculine man is disciplined. He works hard, especially when he does not feel like it. This is discipline. Not necessarily only when he's motivated. And he knows that goals, they take time, they take effort. And he knows this very well. However, he stays consistent. Because he knows that consistency, even if it's just small steps that he takes every single day, even if it's not that big of a difference for that day, eventually, in the long term, one step, every single day, 365 days a year, that'll make a big impact in the end. In the long run, that makes a big impact. Rather than just putting a big ass effort in one single day of the week. Just one. He knows that this takes time. And he especially knows that it's stupid whenever people are like, oh, it'll take too long. Time is gonna go by no matter what, son. Time is gonna go by no matter what. You're not gonna stop time. So if you haven't achieved the goals that you want, it is not because it took too long. It is because you didn't start. Because in between that time, if a year passes and you had set the goal to become stronger, build your dream physique, and you're not there, you're still in the same spot, it is because in between that time frame, you didn't put in the work. Because the time passed by no matter what. Even if it took 1 year, 2 years, those 2 years are gonna pass by no matter what. 2 years are gonna be here in 2 years. That you're gonna be here in 2 years. You're not gonna die. You're not gonna get hit by a bus. So if you don't achieve this, it is your fault. Not only this, but the masculine man does not allow his emotions to influence his actions. Because this is what happens with too many feminine, weak men. They operate based on their emotions. Whenever they don't feel like doing something, they don't do it. Whenever they feel sad, they stay in bed. Whenever they feel like fapping, they fap. If they're not motivated, they won't do it. However, this is what so many people get wrong. Motivation is not always going to be there. If you want consistency to work, if you want to stay consistent, you have to work, especially when you do not feel like it. And this is discipline. Motivation is not linked to success. Anyone who's ever succeeded in life will tell you this. Just think about it. Any person that's ever succeeded in anything, millionaires, athletes, even if they loved the sport, they didn't feel like doing it every single day. However, they still did it. Because this is how you get shit done. With discipline. By doing the hard work, especially when he does not feel like it. A masculine man knows that no matter he has it ingrained in his mentality that no matter how he feels, he's still gonna put in the work. He's still gonna continue with his routine for the day. Because his emotions are irrelevant. Because he knows that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're sad, motivated, happy, depressed, when you put in the work. Because when you achieve that goal that you want, that dream physique, it's not gonna matter if you're motivated or if you're sad whenever you put in the work. What's gonna matter is that if you put in the work, yes or no. If you put in the work or not. That's what's gonna matter. This is the reason why so many people are broke and they never achieve their goals. There is no secret. There is no secret formula. There is not something that people aren't telling you. It is simply discipline. You know, you have it. You know that you have the knowledge. It is simply that you are not willing to do it. Most people are not willing to do it. Don't allow yourself to be like all those weak people that like to cope and use all this shit of like, oh, I didn't feel like it. I wasn't motivated today. No. If you didn't work hard that day, it was because you chose to focus on instant gratification. To instead take the easy path. You have to have that masculine mentality that you have to take the hard path. Take the path least traveled. That even if it's hard, you're still gonna take it. The path that less people travel. Because trust me when I say this, that the path that less people travel is usually, yes, it's hard. It's the harder path, but it is the most rewarding and absolutely the best path that you can take. Not only this, but be grateful for everything. Find the win in every loss. This is how a masculine man thinks. He always has that growth mentality that he's improving every single day, no matter what. No matter if he feels sad, depressed, or anything, he's gonna continue with his routine. It's not gonna influence his actions. He doesn't work based on his emotions like most people. And no matter what happens in his life, even if something goes wrong, he does not see this as an obstacle. He sees this as an opportunity to grow. This is how a masculine man thinks. He sees the positive things rather than the negative things. He sees a glass half full rather than half empty. He focuses on the positive things that he does have rather than the things that he does not have, the negative things that he cannot change. If you were dealt a bad hand, rather than thinking, oh, well, I'm so unlucky, my whole arm just got blown off. Or I'm so unlucky, I had an accident and they chopped off my leg. And instead of thinking that, think of it this way. I'm super lucky that I'm still alive and I still have one leg rather than having no legs. I'm super lucky that I still have both my arms. I'm the luckiest man in the world. Even if you only have one leg. You see? Because whenever you start thinking this way, and you actually start taking action, you start delaying gratification, magical things happen. Do not continue with the weak mindset that most people have. Because this is the reason why so many people stay weak. In a weak spot. Broke. Because it is all a reflection of their mindset. And yes, it may be hard in the moment, but like I said, realize that in the end, it won't matter if you were sad, happy, or depressed when you put in the hard work. Simply put it in. Even put in that hard work, even if you don't feel like it. Put in the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Whenever you feel like not doing it, do it. Because trust me, even if you've never done it before, even if you feel like doing something else, still do it. Just give it the benefit of the doubt. Just try it. And trust me that in the end, once you see the result, You will be so grateful that you put in the work, especially when you did not feel like it, especially when you feel like doing something else, and you still put in the work. Because you will be so happy whenever you realize that the results to the place that you are today, it is you're in that position because you decided, your past self decided to put in the work when he was not motivated, whenever he was tired. He got up whenever he was tired and he still did it, regardless of the lack of motivation, because this is how you get things done. Think about this and do it for your future self.